A Barry County man is still brought to tears when he talks about his SUV being stolen and used in a bank heist that led to the death of a police officer.
Tonight, the owner of the getaway car, Christopher Shane and Daryl LaFave, used in that bank robbery in Ravenna last October, is telling his story.
It's the latest and perhaps the last piece of the puzzle. Here's Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker now.
I don't think they did their job. They were trying to get them in the robbery. They could have stopped them way ahead of time.
He is the owner of the stolen Chevy Blazer used by Christopher Shane and Daryl LaFave as a getaway car in the Choice One bank robbery in Ravenna. Reports show it was stolen the day before the robbery, stolen from outside the Deltaplex in Walker. An easy mark because the keys were left inside. It's that mistake that leads him to blame himself and ask us not to identify him.
I blame myself for leaving my keys in there. If I wouldn't have, that might have never happened.
The owner says he got his Blazer back not long after the robbery and met with an FBI agent. The agent, he said, had no doubt who had stolen the Blazer, Shane and LaFave, because the agent told him they had the two under surveillance that day.
He said that the guys were being watched when my truck was stolen. So,
and what did you take that to mean?
Meaning they watched them steal my truck. You know, and then the next day it was used in an armed robbery. If the FBI would have done their job correctly, that at this point in time, Trevor Slott would still be alive.
An FBI spokesman in Detroit denied that agents watched the suspects steal the Blazer. He said agents were not conducting quote-unquote physical surveillance that day. The local head of the FBI has said agents did not know about the stolen Blazer until after the robbery. The FBI tracked Shane and LaFave through GPS after developing the convicted felons as suspects in two bank robberies. Stealing a car was part of their usual game plan. Police reports obtained by Target 8 show a Muskegon County detective asked the FBI, could somebody else have stolen the Blazer? The FBI had an answer, quote-unquote, they had the robbery suspects under loose surveillance on the day the vehicle was stolen and are confident they were the ones that had taken the vehicle. Nearly 24 hours went by between the theft of the Blazer and the robbery.
Their loose surveillance and them saying that there's nobody else that was involved, they're contradicting themselves with a loose surveillance. Either they're watching them or they're not. There's no loose surveillance, and then saying positively that they were the only two.
Moments after the robbery, the two ditched the stolen Blazer, then switched into a blue Bravada, believing they had gotten away.
My first opinion is that's what they were letting them do, rob the bank and then trying to get him afterwards, or get them both, and they went too far.
James Weddick is a decorated former FBI agent who reviewed the case at the request of Target 8.
I would think that there might be information there that they haven't disclosed yet, that they had these guys under surveillance for maybe 24 hours.
He wouldn't be surprised if the FBI had this discussion after the Blazer was stolen.
Do we try to take them down on a local charge, or do you think we can follow these guys and be able to get them and take them down either outside the bank or have a plan to take them? For instance, maybe we can charge them with a conspiracy to rob a bank if we can find them doing enough things to charge the conspiracy.
The new reports also reveal more about the robbers' weapons, a shotgun and a rifle stolen the month before in a burglary at Gander Mountain in Granville. The reports show just how much money the robbers got, more than $39,000. As for the owner of the 1995 Blazer, he can no longer drive it. He's parked it out back. Even the thought of it brings tears.
It haunted me. Yes, I drove it a couple times and it haunted me.
In what way?
Knowing that these two guys were in my truck and knowing that they killed somebody, I scrubbed the truck down from end to end, and it's still, every day I look at it, it's the only thing I think about.
He and his wife plan to fix it, sell it, and give the money to Trevor Slott's family.
It's not a whole lot, but it's something. Made me feel a little better, I think.
Last night, Ken talked with two experts about how the FBI handled the robbery and the chase, and you can see that full story right now at woodtv.com.